Liam believed his Ivy League degree gave him the right to humiliate anyone with grease under their fingernails. He mocked the mechanic, never realizing he was insulting the only person who could save his career 5 years later. The afternoon sun reflected off Liam's white BMW, parked crookedly in front of a nameless, rusted garage on the edge of town. Inside, the air smelled of burnt rubber and old iron. Liam adjusted his silk tie, looking at the man sliding out from under a heavy truck. Caleb was covered in the city's grime, his skin stained with oil that seemed a decade old. Without a word of greeting, Liam flicked a $20 bill onto the oily workbench. My engine is knocking. Fix it, and try not to get your failure all over my leather seats. I have a gala to attend, and I can't be late because some grease monkey doesn't know how to turn a wrench. Bob stood up, towering over Liam. He wiped his hands on a rag that was just as dark as the floor. He looked at the $20 bill, then at the arrogant boy with the pristine degree. You see sludge, kid. I see physics, Bob said quietly. Liam just laughed, leaning against his car. Physics? You're scrubbing floors in a shed. If you spent half as much time in a library as I did, you wouldn't be begging for tips at your age. Bob didn't argue. He fixed the car in silence, listening to the rhythm of the pistons like a doctor listens to a heart. 5 years later, the world had changed. Liam's father's firm had collapsed, and his prestige meant nothing in a market that demanded real innovation. He found himself in the lobby of Nova Hydrogen, a company that had just patented a zero-emission engine that was turning the global economy on its head. This was his last chance. He was led into a minimalist office that overlooked the entire city skyline. In the corner sat a massive, glass-encased prototype of a hydrogen engine, the same one Liam had seen as a hunk of junk years ago. A man turned around in a high-back leather chair. It was Bob, but the grease was gone. His hands were clean. His suit was worth more than Liam's entire car, and his eyes held the weight of a man who had built an empire from nothing. Liam's voice caught his throat. Bob, you're the visionary everyone is talking about, but you were just a mechanic in the middle of nowhere. Bob stood up and walked the prototype, placing a hand on the cold steel. That nowhere was my laboratory, Liam. I spent 30 years under those cars, learning exactly why they fail, while you were in air-conditioned rooms learning how to talk about things you didn't understand. I didn't just study innovation. I bled for it. Liam stepped forward, desperately holding out his resume. I've changed, sir. I have the best credentials in the city. I can lead your marketing team to... Bob didn't even take the paper. He simply watched it flutter in Liam's trembling hand. I don't hire people who know how to talk, Liam. I hire people who know how to build. You spent your life learning how to look down on the world. I spent mine learning how it works. My oil-stained hands were priced for $1 billion secret you couldn't buy with 1,000 degrees. Bob sat back down, the silence in the room heavier than any insult. We don't have a place for you here, but I hear the garage down the street is looking for someone to sweep the floors. Maybe there, you'll finally start your real education.